Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. It's the Brokest podcast. You know, it's your boy Wax Groove TV, home of the Brokest podcast. You know, listen. If you're looking to purchase property, looking to sell your property, holla at me. I need to be your realtor. Does your realtor know how to wrestle? Because I do. Does your realtor wear Jordans? Because I do. Does your realtor wear Wallabies? Because I do. Ooh, get you a realtor with a little bit of swag. You know what I mean? Listen, my architect knows Japanese. Yeah, man, to the left of me, I got the one and only.
Stevan, you know I'm feeling blessed today.
To the right, my man.
Mr. No Socks, Mr. DCYOP. Yeah, it's me.
Yes, sir. Listen, before we go any further, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button, man. I hope y'all enjoy the content. More content to come. Yeah, so let's just jump right into it, gentlemen. How y'all feeling today?
Good. And yourself?
I'm great. Feeling great, man. Fresh off a workout, still got the pump going, so I can't complain.
Oh, Papa Pump.
You know, Big Papa Pump, baby. Hey, yo, so funny story. You mentioned that, right? So we all know Big Papa Pump, the wrestler, Scott Steiner.
Yes.
So I have this thing, right, with my children when they want something, and I'll be like, yo, what's the magic word? And I always catch them, like, when they ask for something in front of their friends. I'm like, yo, what's the word? Mr. Magic Word. They be tight. Magic word is, please, Big Papa Pump.
Man, got your children mad as hell at you.
Mad, bro.
Dad, why you gotta be so embarrassing all the time?
Literally, magic word for my children is please Big Papa Pump. Yo, they be so mad at me. Hilarious.
In front of their people.
Yup. Hey, yo, this year too, so for my daughter and my nephew, I'm gonna be real extra. I'm going to their basketball games with a sign. It's gonna say I'm here for, you know, my daughter and her number, and the same thing for my nephew. I'm here for his name and his number, you know what I mean? And they score, you going, that's my baby.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? Extra supportive. But yeah, that's it for me. What y'all got going on? Anything y'all want to throw out there?
Man, you know, it's been the same old same with me, man. Like, just trying to, you know, maintain, just trying to keep my head afloat. You know what I'm saying? I've been sitting on, when it comes to, you know, the designs and creating. I've been sitting on.
One-on-one?
Nah. I copped this out of this military store.
The one on the turnpike?
Nah, it's in Manhattan on 20.
Nah, don't put it out there. They ain't pay for no advertising. That ain't a one-on-one though, but I still like that.
Good looking. Appreciate you.
Word.
Yeah, so I've been, you know, I've been sitting on a few things, just, you know, cause I've been busy, man.
Word.
But
You making a run for Christmas? The DCYOP brand, they putting something crazy out for Christmas?
shit, man, I might not even be able to make a run for Christmas at this point, cause what we like 2-3 weeks out.
Shit, something like that.
Yeah, and honestly, to tell you the truth, I ain't gonna take up a lot of time speaking on my shit. One of my manufacturers had hit me up, and they was like, "Listen, man, you know."
Shit kind of slowed up, right?
Yeah,
Over
because China dealing with some COVID,
heavy
like,
protests too.
Yeah, so they hit me
shut
up.
shit down or whatever.
Yeah, they hit me up like 2 months ago and was like, "Listen." And for everybody that said, "Oh yeah, it was that's fake. Y'all just don't want to get us our shit." Come on, man. Like, if you already been dealing with a good manufacturer, like, why would you even throw that out there and try to play them like that? If they dealing with some serious shit in their country, like, you got to respect what it is. You know what I'm saying?
But not only that, it's like, yo, why would they not want to get it to you when that's their money? Like,
exactly.
Like, that's stupid.
Exactly, because people are ignorant
like
and dumb. I just responded like, it's all good. Don't even worry about it. You know what I'm saying? We'll obviously link back up when in due time, because we've been doing business for years anyway. So people just be ignorant and dumb.
Consideration nowadays is like at an all-time low.
Yeah. So
Nobody considerate of anything.
Yeah, exactly.
And everybody's trust is like low too. So
yeah, exactly.
everybody thinks.
But some people just say ignorant stuff when it comes to, like, you know, even like you just said, some of it be low trust, and I get it, you know, especially when it comes to governments and stuff, and the way governments and government authorities lie, or government officials lie. But some of the shit is just flat out ignorant, just like where's your common sense? You know what I mean?
Like even if it is like whatever with that with the lying shit, right? Because like you just said, our government's always lied to us every day.
Exactly.
But you could see it on the fucking news that they going through something.
Right,
And if somebody
right,
say, listen.
yeah.
Your stuff might be delayed. You could actually see that they ain't fucking around.
Right.
It's
Bro,
all
like,
over the news.
If they protesting all over the country,
Yeah.
like, why would you not expect some type of delay in the
Yeah.
supply chain, manufacturing chain, like
had
just
still be in
the
denial.
goods, everything? Like,
Exactly.
come on, man.
Like,
Shit.
nah, that's fake news.
Yeah, like come on, man.
Like, this is basic economics here. Like, come on, man. Read a book or
Shit.
something. What about you, Esteban? What you got going on? How's the running treating you? How's the work treating you? All that. Babies.
Work is work. Kids is love. My running is the problem, man. I keep hurting myself, so
Why
I
you
gotta
keep
get
going
that
through that,
situated.
man? Like, listen.
Yo, it's
And
been
you in top tier shape, so how you keep getting like?
low key. I'm not because I trace it back all the way to my ankle being broken my freshman year in high school.
I remember that.
When I did that, I never finished the therapy, and like
You
I
paying
never
for it
even-
now?
yeah, I'm paying for it now because I never even really necessarily like got back into sports like how I was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was just like I teared off of that and was just around just lounging, you know, do a little something here and there. Now that I actually found something that I like to do and love it and out there doing it, it's showing what's weak on me.
Yeah.
So it tends to is my right ankle, which I had got runner's knee from compensating on my left joint and stuff like that. And recently I just like sprained my right big toe. That it's something serious, like to the point where I'm like about to get it reevaluated because it's been what 2 weeks, 3 weeks now, something like that. And I'm just now being able to like walk normal again.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know?
Running is a lifestyle too.
Dog.
It's definitely.
It's something
Yo, you know
else.
the biggest thing about running, like, and mind you, I hated cardio for years. Like, even when I was still competitively wrestling, I always hated cardio, like, in terms of running. I was always the type, let me go sit in the sauna, I'll jump some rope, I'll get on the elliptical. I hated running.
It's wild time consuming.
It is, but when COVID first hit and the gyms was closed, you know, I said to myself, all right, now's the time to get serious about running. And like a lot of it is just mental, bro. You start running, and like when I first started, I'd be like, yo, my body, I start running, but oh, my stomach hurt. All right, I'm done. Or oh, you know, my calf,
Totally mental.
my calf is tight. Like,
totally mental.
yeah, that's it for me.
You
Whereas,
understand?
yeah, like where it's like you got to learn to really push through all of that. You know what I mean? And once you push through it, it's like you feel a little pain, it goes away. Then like once you get to a certain threshold, you start to feel something else. That goes away. You know what I mean? Like a lot of it is just mental,
Yes.
which is crazy. But I learned to fall in love with it. Same thing with like squatting. I hated squatting until I couldn't do
Yeah.
anything but
A
leg
lot of
workouts.
people hate squatting.
Yeah.
I haven't squatted in
Running
years.
is therapeutic too. Like
You get to
at
zone
least
out.
For me, like you know what I'm saying?
Bro, working out period is.
Yes. Yes, you're right.
This is a fitness guy I follow, and he said there's 2 times in your life when you're not stressed out, and or not thinking about anything, and it's basically when you smanging or working out. That's your mind is completely free of like any stressors at that point in time, and it's the truth. Like if you think about it, you're not really thinking about.
I also changed my diet again. I'm back on a pescatarian diet. It's been since like mid-September or whatever.
Where
Yeah.
You know.
Good.
I really like that. It doesn't give me no itis or per se. You know.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff gives you the itis, and low key, that's not good.
Yeah.
No.
I was just talking to somebody
or
about.
like when you overeat, that is the worst.
I'm working on that too.
I've gotten really good with that. Like I don't overeat, but like for instance on Thanksgiving I didn't overeat. And there had like every now and then you might slip up, and when I do, I remember why I don't, because I just feel so terrible where you can't even move. It's like, yo, I'm too old to feel like this.
I'm at that
my
point right
problem
now.
I'd be like, nah, I don't want to waste this. That type of ordeal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm learning. You know, everything is a discipline. You know what I'm saying?
I'm in my transition right now as well.
Or
I'm gonna see if I can make it.
what are you trying to do?
All the way to March. Yeah, no, I do my cleanses and shit. So I started the beginning of November, so I haven't consumed any alcohol since then. And I'm going, rock out on this journey till March. And I've
Right.
been I just been juicing and doing protein shakes. But I do consume one meal at night, like my man Mr. Esteban said, more so pescatarian style, fish, vegetable, boom, that's it. This is the first time I'm doing this though while juicing. When I juice in the past, I just did that, not consuming anything. But this time I'm consuming because in the past, with my fucked up body, it makes me extra weak.
Right.
So the way I'm doing this now, with the one meal, I'm getting a little more, yeah,
Right.
and I feel great.
You take a multivitamin at all?
I do.
Okay.
Every day. So.
Word. Um, so with both y'all being, heavy on the seafood right now, either y'all ever consider looking at like Mediterranean diets or foods?
I haven't.
Check it out, bro.
All right.
Honestly,
I mean, I've
I love Mediterranean food.
I dealt with many different foods, like as far as cultures and stuff like that go.
But yeah, that's like honestly, you probably there a lot of the stuff that they eat naturally. It's nutritional. There's a lot of nutritional value in what they the way they cook. So check it out. You know what I mean? Mediterranean.
I've checked it out before. The hell is like Portuguese people have like a Mediterranean type of diet per
Yep.
se, and it's like it's not my in-laws, but my in-laws.
Yeah. We get it.
Portugal,
Your people's
You
peoples.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've seen a few spreads or whatnot.
Word.
There, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's healthy. It's real healthy for you. A lot of nutritional value.
Yeah, but been staying away from a lot of fried foods and stuff. Just naturally, like not eating chicken and stuff like that. It naturally like eliminates a lot of fried foods. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is a benefit. Yeah. Health wise, I'm very conscious about mine.
You always been like that.
Word.
I think the best thing the thing I need to work on is, like you said, like squatting, my core.
Okay.
Yo, I ain't never like core workouts.
Yo.
I go to the gym now, bro, and I bang hard on anything. Get to the core, do like a set, and be like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, so you got to make that a point.
Bang,
Whatever you hate working out the most, that's what you
That's what I
genuinely got
gotta
to
focus
focus
on.
on. Like that's
I
got to
know.
be like
I know,
your biggest target. You know what I mean?
But once I find like a good routine, because I'm all over the place right now, and definitely next year that'll work, because some of my endeavors is gonna supersede and move on to the next level or whatnot. So it's gonna be beneficial. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
likewise, because I'm trying to compete at a high level next year. I want to go to some really high level tournaments. So
And and that's another
I
plan.
gotta get myself together.
Get into some races, and I was gonna do the Thanksgiving turkey race this year. Luckily, I didn't sign up because I got hurt a couple weeks before that, bro.
Gotta
Not
love
even
it.
like a week before that. I was so tight, so I had smashed my finger in the door on a couple Sundays ago, and then in the same week,
That's
I
gonna,
ended
that's
up
gonna take
falling.
like a couple months to grow out.
Like, man, I'm just like, yo, somebody put a voodoo spell on me or something. That's how it had me feeling, though.
It'd be
Like,
like
I
that.
was messed up, man.
It'd be like that.
You know?
So yeah, let's jump into this hip hop talk, man. We got to talk about
Let's get it.
MC Search, man. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I've known who MC Search was for the longest time, and I've always known him as the guy who put Nas on.
Yeah.
I didn't really pay attention to like his career. Honestly, it's before my time to some degree, even though Golden Era is like my music. But I've gained a lot of respect for Search after listening to him speak on a particular podcast. The way he set Nas up, you know what I mean? Like,
That was
Yep.
beautiful.
it was beautiful. Like he said, man, he mentioned on there basically ever since Nas put out his first album, Nas has been a millionaire.
Right.
he talked about like people saying he owes Nas publishing and all of that, and like how
He said
basically
he only owned 2% though.
right, but he don't even so he sold his share of Nas's publishing,
Yep.
but the way it's set up, he always gets a 2% bag basically from being the administrator of that situation.
Executive producer.
Right. So anytime, you know what I mean, something happened with Illmatic Illmatic and it was written, if that sells or like there's a big, spike in media sales or something like that, he always
check.
getting 2%, which is dope. You know what I mean? And Nas said, "Yo, go get your money, do your thing," type shit.
Absolutely.
So I'm glad he cleared the air on that. Like he don't own any of Nas's publishing. And then what else did he talk about? He talked about how Nas owns.
Jay-Z's.
Yeah, Jay-Z's publishing for
For
Dead
Dead
President.
President.
Right. So what's your thoughts on that?
For
me-
I don't feel any type of way about it. I heard Search talk about it, a couple years back, pertaining to, everybody thought that line that Hov said, pertaining to, I know who I paid, God, Searchlight Publishing. Everybody's been eating that up for years. So he said he never felt the reason to address it because he knew it wasn't true.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he knew it was basically, reversed. And he pretty much was saying no slight to, Hov. It's like it's the art of war. It's a battle. So you're gonna say things sometimes, and just because it's witty. But
Do you think that adds, and I don't mean to cut you off, do you think that adds more to Nas's character? The fact that Jay said that and that Jay said that and Nas never made it a point to be like, nah, bro, I own your publishing. I'm getting 50%
Yes,
of
it
that
does.
record.
To me, it do.
absolutely, because Nas. This is what I love about Nas. Nas always been a private entity.
Yep,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
true.
So that's never gonna change about him. So after all these years later, why even address it now? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He know what the real is. So
Right. Even when I felt
I
like,
respect more. I respect that more than anything else.
yeah, to me it definitely adds to his character, knowing like, one, he's wild humble. Two, based off some of the other stories we heard in the past, like, yeah, I mean, it's almost like, he could do damage, but it's like, what is the point? It ain't even worth it. I'm on some next level shit right now. You know what I mean? So yeah, much respect to Nas for that. Did you listen to Third Base in the 90s?
I did.
Were they nice?
I thought during the that current climate at the time, yeah, they were pretty decent, cause I rocked with them, and all the MCs that I looked up to during that time respected them. So it was more, and also back then during that time, it was, hip hop was more like family orientated when it came to the groups and the MCs at that time. So
Yep.
it wasn't like a lot of like backstabbing or sneak dissing back then. It was more like camaraderie. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like if they were whack, I'm sure like, their colleagues would have been like, nah, like that, like this ain't it. And for them to even be on Def Jam, that says a lot within itself. Because
Right.
Def Jam was like, the shit back then.
Yeah, Def Jam was
So-
it. That was a label back then. What else was I gonna say? Did you like with Search's, like just his story and how he put himself on for radio?
Yeah.
I respect it, yo. Like this dude as a businessman.
Yeah.
How far did you get in that podcast? Were you able to touch on all of that?
I didn't touch on the whole thing. I
Okay.
seen mainly,
The Nas joint.
yeah. Pretty
Yo,
much.
so basically he was in position where there was another record exec who basically was taking him to other radio stations to basically get him a slot on the radio. But homeboy was more, and I can't remember the name of this particular exec, but he was like, yo, if I'm gonna get you on black or urban radio, you better go on there knowing your ish. So Search basically said he went to, like the public library and studied up on all these radio execs, so he knew their story before he walked in there, and basically got radio time over like LL Cool J. There was-
Public Enemy.
Yeah, Public Enemy. like some of the biggest acts at the time. You know what I mean? So.
Yep.
And then just the fact that he went from being an MC and then transitioning into radio to then being an exec at the label, stuff like that. I felt like Home just put himself in a real nice situation from a business standpoint over the years. So I don't know. What's your thoughts on that?
I thought it was interesting. He seems very business savvy to the sense of, the rap game. And for the whole situation, even bringing it back to Nas, I thought that was interesting too, because a lot of people in the world think it's a lot of the reverse. Not that the fact that Jay owned anything of Nas's, but they feel that Jay is just like above Nas,
Right.
per se, on a financial, outlook standpoint. And that ain't always necessarily the case. You know what I mean? I mean, he is a billionaire or whatever, but my man Nas been making moves
Right.
I didn't even know since when he came out.
Right.
Because the man said he's been a millionaire ever since he dropped his first album.
Right.
Now that's something I wasn't aware of.
So
You
now,
understand?
so I will say this: I know Nas started really investing and getting heavy on the business tip, and creating more passive income at a later stage in his life than Jay did. But from everything that I've researched and heard, Nas is a great businessman outside of the
Yes.
hip hop scene.
And it's funny because Virgos tend to be good with money, so
It's funny you say that because my nephew cheap as hell and he a Virgo. Well, this boy will stretch a nickel if he has
Yeah.
to.
His
yeah,
team.
it could be on either end of the extreme. They could be totally terrible or very good. It's like that with any sign. You could have the strength of it, or you could totally have the weakness of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
his
majority
his
of
team around him too, that
Right,
he keeps around him. They
right.
keep him on,
Right.
that the path of continuing to, dive into taking his money and then invest it in right places. Because I remember years back, can't remember. As a matter of fact, I think it was on the movie The Show, and I think Nas was on there. And I think he was in back of a limousine and he had got a phone call or something about a liquor wanting him to do like a commercial or something. And then he pretty much turned it down. I remember him turning down Hennessy too. He was like, nah.
He ended up
But
doing it
now-
any later years.
That's what I'm saying. So they probably sat down and said, looked into it and said, maybe this could be potentially,
Lucrative.
exactly.
Yo,
for
so
myself and my family.
I know somebody who works in the cannabis industry, right? He creates and grows his own strains and has his stuff in a bunch of different dispensaries. So he was telling me, it's really hard to strike deals with rappers because a lot of them don't want to be just like the ambassador or like the face of that particular strain.
They want to be the owner, right?
They want to own it or have like a big stake in that. So
Yeah.
now, like thinking about that, think about all the hip hop artists who could have done that with alcohol brands. Because for a while, remember, that was a thing for an artist to be promoting or supporting some type of alcohol or liquor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just imagine if Nas had went back to Henny or Cavassier or whoever and been like, I need a 10% stake in the company if you gonna deal with me. You know what I mean?
To tell you the truth, I could be mistaken, y'all. Don't kill the messenger. I think when Cam had Scissor, when Dipset had Scissor,
Yep.
I think they own that outright.
Word. That was innovative.
Don't kill it. But I could be mistaken, but I think they own that shit outright and they sold it.
Okay.
But then you started seeing other, MCs later on, coming out and actually having their liquors and stuff nowadays.
Right.
But like you said, what stakes in the business? But like you said, other parties y'all remember when St. Ives was dealing with rappers heavy, but they didn't
Just in,
have
like,
any
commercials,
they didn't
right?
have any
Yeah.
stakes in the business. They was just
Yup.
cutting like one-time checks.
Right.
But like now, these MCs have smartened up, and they are trying to be, long time, business partners with these particular brands. Look what Hov going through right now with Douce.
What's going on over there?
It's a $2 million lawsuit.
Yeah, so he started looking into, he audited the books for Bacardi because he wanted to know like how much revenues, Duce's making. So long story short, he thinks they, holding back on the financials. So he tried to buy Duce out. So I guess he put a bid in for like $1.5 billion, and they got shut down. Bacardi don't want to, let that shit go. So with that being said, he probably got a point.
Right.
Y'all hiding something. If
something.
you ain't gonna take $1.5 billion, somebody hiding something.
Right. There's something going on there.
Yeah. So
I mean, besides, so I thought he owned that outright. I guess I'll
I think
learn.
it's 50%, right? He only owned 50.
well, I know that he owned Ace of Spades outright in the beginning, but then he sold half of it to Arnold Bernal, the guy that owns Louis and all that other shit.
But that's smart.
That
too.
was smart right there, yeah. Because
now you got the infrastructure behind you.
Exactly. He got a conglomerate behind him now.
Right.
I respect that 1,000,000%.
Absolutely.
But as far as his stake in Duce, I don't know how much he
puts in.
he owned. Yeah.
So essentially, Willie the Kid is probably the only rapper who
Exactly.
truly owns his own brand with Motu Vice. I want to try that. I can't even front. I do want to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to order a bottle online.
I wonder if let's not give out false information, because E40 too. E40 got wine, he got tequila, and I think he got a yak as well. But I don't know if he owns it 100% outright. But he
my weebilization.
But I don't want to slight anybody, on a business sense. So.
Right. Speaking of business, I was watching another podcast, and they had LaRussell on there, and this man is, I don't even know how to put it, but because it was said the only other artist that was doing this was Ryan Leslie. Like, he's independent and everything.
Yeah.
But he's how do I put it? Like, he sells shares of his stuff. Like, you can own part of it.
Yeah.
And like, it's like when he was breaking it down in the interview, it was just like, man, this is so nice, because now as a consumer of the music, you take a part of that, and you yourself can be making something on
have
it.
some dividends.
Via ownership. Yeah.
Yo, so I was just like, man, that is amazing, yo. He has a venue in his backyard, right?
Oh, that's dope.
And has a whole entity pertaining to that, where it's 100% his, and they do they sell the tickets, you know what I'm saying, and all that. Him and his boys, all his stuff is like in-house per se, from what I was hearing from the interview. It got me highly intrigued to point where I checked him out and all that. I like his music, so I did definitely check him out and everything.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of Ryan Leslie. I think he's very talented. It's funny that you say he got a venue in his backyard, because I've thought
Russ.
I'm sorry, LaRussell. I'm
yeah.
sorry. I always thought it was funny to me that like a bunch of artists don't like purchase or basically have their own venues. Like, just think about it. If you're an artist, you own your own venue. The biggest show let's say you're gonna have 3 big shows a year and then still book for everywhere else. If you own your own venue, why not do it at your venue? All that money comes to you, and then you still allow other people to rent out that venue throughout the year. Same thing with artists. I mean, not artists, athletes. Why the hell do we always see basketball players working out at colleges or high schools? Why don't you own your own facility?
Hey.
Well, the only thing about that is that would only be good for the off season.
It wouldn't, though. Think about it.
Because you travel a lot.
You travel a lot, but one, it's an asset at the end of the day.
No, it is.
It's an asset.
A lot of
what he just said, though, Mr. Esteban, it's yours. You own it, and when you're not utilizing it, you rent it out.
Right.
That's true.
Right. So
okay, I get
that's
it.
the same process. So now
I'm over there I'm over there thinking about like, yo, cats got it in their house. But you're right. missed the part
Right.
where you did say yes. It is a good business. Yes.
And then
right.
on top of that, think about it. Now you rent it out, or you got membership. So it's
Yeah.
if it's big
Yep.
enough, hell, you have one floor where it's just weight, strength, and conditioning. Another level, you got 3, 4 actual courts. You know what I mean? And one of those courts is always blocked off,
Hey man,
just
you,
as
you
yours.
got a lot of ideas that you need to transpire and bring to fruition, as far as like not even just with rap shit. You tend to have a lot of ideas that are good, lucrative ideas, and you know what I'm saying.
I just need that power play, man. I'm just waiting for that power
gotta
play.
capitalize off those, man, cause that's fire. Like, you know what I'm saying. Get your own venue and make it happen. You know.
That's
That's
what
true.
whatchamacallit is doing right now. How he has his concert series in back of his house. How he built that pavilion in back of his house.
You talking about Russell?
Yeah,
Yo.
That's fire.
Russell killing shit right now. with
Yo,
that.
and he not whack either, home.
Nah, hell
Fire,
nah,
bro.
he ain't whack.
He
That's
fire,
fire.
son.
That is dope.
Like,
The fact that you could sell your album for any price, hey, the consumer, you pick the price, what you want to pay
Yes.
for it. You pick the price, what you want to pay for this show.
yes.
You know how?
That's
Come
dope.
on, man.
That's
And
dope.
then he was saying how he was about to do a deal with Rock Nation, and he ain't do it because the business was funny. They came at him basically with a number, and he was like, hell no. Like, he said like 15,000.
Young Ye, he got the Super 32 on. Yeah, come jump in here.
So he came and he was like, they came with a number of 15,000 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And he was like,
That's
basically like, no, like, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then they doubled back, and it was like the next deal was like for 750,000,
Wait, how much was the first amount?
15,000. So he was like, what? Like,
Hey, yo, but that fits in
automatically-
line. But yo, think about it. And I don't mean to cut you off.
So first of all, he was saying there's mad rappers that might go yes
Yeah.
to the 15, and then even back, there's mad rappers that might be like, okay, nah, the 15, but 750 come, yes.
Right.
But see, he said he looked at it like, if y'all was doing that,
Exactly.
that's shady business. I don't
Yeah.
want to do business with y'all.
Right.
Yeah.
And he was even like, Hov, do you know about this? Like,
Yo,
You know what I'm
listen,
saying?
in my mind, that's a whole business practice, and I'm gonna tell you why. Cause I don't know if y'all ever remember when Lil Wayne told the story when basically, where Lil Wayne tells the story where Jay tried to sign him, and he
The
basically, he was like, "Yo, I'll give you 250,000." You know what I mean? Like, like some chump change. You feel me? Like Wayne probably get that for a concert, if not more. So. To on one hand, that is the shit's wild disrespectful, but on the other hand, it's business. You know what I mean? Like somebody's not gonna pay you, or they're not gonna pay you or contract you if they're not gonna make any money off you.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So I definitely understand both sides of it. But you as an individual, it gets to a point, well, as a creator, a content creator, as an artist of some sort, you come to that point like where it's, all right, so if you're gonna offer me 750,000, how much are you thinking you're really gonna make off of me? You know what I mean? So if you offering me 750,000, do you have me valued at $3 million? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's where the wheels turn. But so
Right.
many artists, and I feel like we touch on this finance topic all the time. So many artists have just see a dollar sign because they're not so used to not having bread and just gonna take whatever's thrown at them.
Right.
Versus like sometimes, it benefits you to hold out and just
Especially imagine, if they in like certain struggles at that time, cats gonna be ready to get the bread, though.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Prime example, LeBron with Reebok. Like they offered him 10 million. Said, "Yo, we give you 10 million right now." He was 18. Sign this. We give you 10 million. But if you walk out, if you don't sign this right now, this deal's off the table.
Yeah.
LeBron was smart enough to say, if they're offering me 10 million, I need to see what these other cats is offering.
Absolutely.
And then put himself in a crazy situation with Nike. So gotta love it. But yeah, I do want to see more athletes owning their own. It needs to happen. Same thing with artists. Like, could you imagine like an artist having a bunch of venues popping up in like, just cities and hubs
You
for
know what's
concerts?
gonna be funny? That's about to be the new wave now. Watch.
It is.
That's what I'm telling
It
you,
is.
yo. Watch.
Yo, it's crazy you say that because I feel like I have been ahead of my time on a few things,
Yo,
and I just,
Shit.
Yo, if you got some paper, holla at
you
me,
and
man.
Sauce, y'all killing me with all these ideas, like,
Telling you, I was meant to be a billionaire. I'm trying to make it
What you
happen.
mean? You gonna be one?
It's gonna happen.
Meant to be. You gonna
It's
be.
gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
You know,
The
we gotta
Brokest.
as human beings, we gotta watch what we say. You know, because words is spells. You understand?
True.
Absolutely.
True.
You know?
I want to take it back to the search thing real quick. So something I learned from him, that 35-year rule, that 35-year clause.
Yeah.
Did you catch that?
That was interesting.
What with samples?
No,
was
with
it?
the artist's music and their publishing and like the
It goes
royalties.
back to them.
Yeah, so it defaults
Yeah,
back to
yeah.
them after 35
I
years.
didn't know that.
Yo, so think about it, like, and that makes sense why so many of these artists put out like these 35-year anniversary
hits,
joints or
yeah.
remastered and stuff like that.
Yep.
And yo, think about it. You do that, right? All this time prior to, you was only eating small chump change off of it, and now you re-release that, and you getting 95% of it rather than the 35 or 40% you was getting before, or whatever chump change. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It was raping you records prior to.
When Cam was on another podcast, he said that what you also could do is recreate it,
Yeah.
and then just gravitate your audience over. Okay, I got a new website. Boom, it's over here now. You understand?
But sometimes, when you recreate it, like you're
Right.
older now, so the vocals don't be the same.
Right. That's true.
But
Yeah, a lot of artists, I noticed that they don't sound the same compared to
Yep.
when they first started.
I mean, a prime example of somebody that don't sound is Beanie Siegel.
Beanie Siegel, Nori,
Ghost
Ghost.
voice ain't as high pitch.
No, it's not. You're right.
So,
A lot of people. So
Yeah.
interesting.
but that's why this resurgence of a lot of these artists coming out saying, "Oh yeah, I sold my publishing off," and the small people are saying like, "Oh, why is dummy doing that?" Because they know, okay, if they offer me this amount of money now, upfront cash, I'm going to eventually get it back anyways.
Right.
I might as well grab this big bag right now while it's available, because I'm going to double back in another 15
Exactly.
years anyways. So
What's the name? Who did that recently? Well, last couple
A lot
of
of
years.
people did that.
Wayne did it.
Future did
Future,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, Wayne did it and Justin Timberlake did it. But they
Just-
got the bag. Like,
Yeah,
they got 100 million if I'm not mistaken.
DJ Mustard did it. And he's a fairly new, and
Right.
for him to do that, you already know they
I
had
want
to
to
give
say
him some-
Future got a nice piece
Yeah.
of change.
But that's smart though. And then fucking, that 35-year clause kick in.
He did it. The Dream did it. This bum chick just recently did it. T.I.'s ex-artist.
Iggy.
Iggy did it. And I remember when Tina Turner announced she was retiring and she did it.
up, I'll be right back.
This is Tina, and
That's
Tina
smart.
did it. Now Tina's bag gotta be crazy. She already got her bread back.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
That's smart,
So,
man.
yeah.
That's smart. So much we ain't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm glad dudes is learning.
Yeah, interesting.
I guess we can. One more topic we should probably touch on, before we get up out of here, because we've been yapping a little bit. And Young Ye, I want your input on this. So pop them headphones out for a second. What do you think of hip hop being a religion? The concept of hip hop being a religion?
Come sit down real quick.
Yeah, jump in here. And let me let Esteban get in on that. Just think about how I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot with this, but like think about just hip hop in general, how you consume it, how it affects your daily life. You know what I mean? How it just fits into everything you do. And do you feel like hip hop could be a religion instead of just a culture?
Yeah, well, I use it to knock
Or
out.
go to my.
I use it to knock out the bullshit, like just tune everything out. But a religion, is it like a consequence if you don't listen to it? You're like,
I wouldn't say there's no consequence, but when I think of religion, I think of it more of a guiding beacon for your life. You know what I mean? Like it kind of gives you your moral grounds in terms of your do's and don'ts. You know what I mean?
yeah, I would make it a religion. That's a good question.
All right. Well, I could take it from you.
Go ahead, and then we'll circle back once Esteban
'cause-
comes back in here.
Because
We just put you on the spot. They had some time to marinate.
and I'm a lot older than you, so
Right.
watch how I bust this shit down. So, like, if the concept of hip hop was a religion, that would be something that I would be more willing to dive into more than the actual concept of religion that we living into currently, or our elders and ancestors have lived through.
Right.
Because I'm more connected to this, and no disrespect to anybody's religion, than a false being.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, prime example of this.
So-
Peter Rosenberg mentioned this on a podcast. He basically said when it came to Hebrew, like dealing with Hebrew school, that was forced down his throat, whereas hip hop
That's what I'm
wasn't.
saying. Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I've said it over and over. I've learned more from hip hop than a school book. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I've also gotten lessons from the standpoint of I'm not doing that.
Exactly.
Based off of a story somebody told.
And that's exactly why I say I would be more willing to, practice a religion called hip hop over anything else, because it brought me through so many chambers in my life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been a part of me my whole entire life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you just said, learning things, experiencing things out in the world, and trying them and seeing if it works for you and what you got going on in your life, good, bad.
In all actuality, when you really listen to what we're saying, it's a religion for us.
Exactly.
It is. It's
It
a way
brought
of
me-
life.
Yes.
Hip hop has made me happy. It has made me sad. It has made me cry. It has made me laugh. It has made me feel like a better human being. So that's pretty much what people look for in religion, though.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
Yep.
So that'll be easy for me. You know what I'm saying?
And
That's
yo,
easy for me.
so to break it
sign me up.
To break it
I'll
down
pay my
even-
tithes.
To break it down even further, that you already are. Bro. The way
Exactly.
we consume music, we already are.
Exactly.
So to break it down even further, you think about it from the standpoint, hip hop is one of those. If we look at it from a religious standpoint, it's one of those religions where you would have multiple gods. It's not just one. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You would go to one artist or listen to one artist or get guidance from one person for certain things, certain scenarios, certain moods, like through your dark times. You know what I mean? Then you might listen to somebody when you are going through better times, and you know what I mean? You get different things from different artists. So it's almost like you pulling different pieces of knowledge and wisdom from multiple gods.
Absolutely.
That's how I see it. So
Absolutely.
the concept of it being a religion, to me, I don't think it's that crazy at all.
Neither do I.
You know what I mean? Like,
I concur.
because the fact of the matter is, like I said, we live this. It's already, hip hop is already a way of life, and we live that hip hop life. That's what we grew up in. That's where we are. It's, it plays a role in our parenting, the way we walk, the way we dress, the way we talk, how we consume things. Like I've said over and over, I've learned more from hip hop than anything else. So yeah, I'm all in with that concept.
I'm over there. I be at work defending hip hop because I work with cats that's old enough to be my parents.
Word.
You understand? And don't get me wrong, like they black, you know what I'm saying, of our color or whatever, and it just bothers me when hey rap, get out of here. And I just be like, see, and that's the reason why we're at where we're at as a race and a culture, because certain things ain't taken into consideration as our, generations go on. Like, no, we're not gonna like the same things, but have an understanding of something. Just to say, oh, they don't. There's nothing in it.
Yeah.
Like I've heard people say that there's nothing in it.
That's
you
crazy.
don't have nothing. It's nothing.
Crazy.
It's just a
There's
bunch
wild
of garbage.
substance.
It's just, and I just be like,
It's art. It's people expressing themselves,
exactly,
through music.
Exactly.
For you to say it's not music, you must have bumped your head. Like,
And that
come on
even
out.
goes to the music that we don't like. Whether it be your
Exactly.
mumble rappers, these new age rappers, like, we don't get anything from it, but some of these young boys do. And they understand it because that is their chamber within hip hop. It's not ours. So
I
that,
understand a broad array of a lot of it, like
and I'm not opposed to all of it because, like, if
the
I'm
abstractness,
Or-
yeah,
if I'm getting dressed to go out, or like if I'm chilling with my children and they might listen to a song or two, I may not catch it right away, but later on I'll rock with it because I see how the mood it puts my children in. You know what I mean? Or like I'm getting ready to go out, like. If I'm about to go out and do something, why I want to listen to some hard, extra deep shit when I'm about to go have a good time? At that point, I want to listen to something a little more friendly.
Yeah.
But then, how you think about? Damn, my mind we about to go somewhere else real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. How many labels back in the day when hip hop was in its infancy, you think folded or regret not signing hip hop acts in the beginning because they thought it was just a fad that wasn't going to stick around for more than 10 years?
Many.
Like I said, a lot didn't even
Many.
believe in it.
Right.
Cats thought this was gonna be a come and go type of ordeal.
Many.
And now
for
we the
it to be
biggest.
the biggest genre.
One hip hop
You know what I'm
act they
saying?
should have signed could have turned their business around 360 degrees. They probably would have still been relevant to this day.
Word.
If they would have started off early enough when it first was created, they probably would have been able to sell off the business at this current day because they already been made so much money off of it.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
The fact that Russell sold Def Jam at the time that he sold it at was like, come on now. So Russell was like, I already made my money.
Facts.
I'm still always gonna be a part of hip hop, but now that this is a business, let me go ahead and sell this off because I've already done what I felt like
and
I
Russ
had to
is
do.
a smart businessman, so I'm
Right.
sure
You know what I'm
he's
saying?
still getting something on the back end from Def Jam.
Gotta be.
Even though they need some serious direction at
They
the
do.
moment.
They need West Side.
They do. Yeah, I want to do a video on West Side too.
They need Gun.
Facts. So yeah.
Real quick, you see coming out with a movie too?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Rome looked like he might be a decent actor.
Yeah,
Yes.
The video,
I didn't know Rome is Scorpio.
Nah. Is he? Based on his birthday? You looked it
Yeah.
up? Okay. All right. When's his birthday?
Sometime in November.
Okay. I ain't mad at it.
Recently seen that.
So before we wrap it up, Young Ye, just come tell the people what you've been listening to and what you feeling, and then we're gonna get up out of here.
Let me see.
Come on, man, say it with your chest.
The new Currency album, The Driving Theory.
Theater 2.
Theater.
Okay.
Um,
My guy.
let me see. Jay Worthy with DJ Muggs. That album. Shmino,
You get out of spin yet?
Love for Rent.
Just do me a favor. Say the title of the albums too.
Love for Rent by Shmino. Anderson .Paak.
He dropped some new stuff.
Nah, just in general.
Oh, got you.
I love Anderson's versatility.
Yes.
And Mac Miller.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Took it back.
Yes.
got 12,000 minutes
Of just Mac Miller? Sheesh.
Crazy.
That's dope.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man, I think we covered a good amount of stuff today. I guess we'll dive deeper into the record label situation next episode. But if you made it to the end of this video, we love y'all. Peace. Be on the lookout for more content.
Let's get
Yes,
it.
sir. Damn. I see you on the Babyface Ray.